Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. And man, I'm really excited. Thank you guys for waiting. What's up, Tasha? What's up, Jay? What's up, Cade Fire? Little bit late here, only 9 minutes late. That's not bad for me. Was just setting up the technology. Man, but I am pumped. I've been telling you, I feel like a broken record. The last like 4 or 5 weeks, I come on here, I say I'm excited for this week. I say I think there's great opportunity, and then we just we hit. Been hitting teasers, been hitting single bets, been hitting upsets. Yes, and people were wondering, Lawson, why are you so intense this week? Lawson, why are you yelling at a camera? The camera's not saying anything to you. But what I am intense about is this week, and we have to keep doing the work necessary to get these picks in. Money picks will be up tonight on Patreon about 10, 30, 11. I don't like you guys rushing me on it. And I'm a very calm, mild-mannered guy, but I don't like people rushing me. I need to see the injuries. I need to know every situation. I need to see a weather report. Do you want me like throwing your money out there? It's just laissez-faire. No, I care about every dime that is bet on my Patreon page. And I was doing the math. The other day. I was including my bets. I was including your guys' bets, just doing an estimate. On Patreon, we're probably betting, what, 400, 500K? And that's without me talking about the high rollers that are on Patreon. There's some high rollers on Patreon too. So that's where I'm at. And and we have to keep winning, and we have to make sure we see the injury reports. Like, look at this Dallas Cowboys Minnesota Vikings game. We saw the spread just change 4 points based on a rumor, based on not even a report, but a rumor Dak Prescott might not play and Cooper Rush might play. So that's where I'm starting with. And how about that game last night? That game was great. That game was absolutely phenomenal. I was just looking forward to it, man, last night. And that game actually exceeded my expectations. I really liked Green Bay's defensive line. I was surprised. Listen, I told you Arizona's offensive line is a little bit fugazi, but I was surprised how much Green Bay was actually able to bull rush into Kyler Murray and not let him escape. So let's go. Jeff, you could just, Jeff, if you can't do the Patreon, man, just send it through here, because a super chat's as good as the money. I can send you the stuff on Instagram. It's just, it's hard for me to remember, because some people like the Patreon just doesn't work. So I'll work with you if you're on Instagram, but make sure you remind me every week. Yeah, you can just send it like this. All right, let's get to some Patreon questions. I'm going to hit off on them. I want to just say hi to some people who are in the room. What's up, Reefer? Yeah, definitely, dude. Patience is everything. On Friday night, I think it's a good time. At least we can see the Friday injury report. Friday injury reports, most important thing. San Francisco Chief 415. What's up, my man? What's up, Patrick Lilly? What's up, Chris Cody? What's up, LJ? LJ says, I'm going big this week. He's got a big Rottweiler. I feel like we've done that Rottweiler. Like, it's just running through people, man. It's just running through everything. Feel like a Rottweiler sometimes, man. Okay, I'll take this question before we get to the Patreons. This is from Jeff Jabroni. How do you feel about the Bears and 49ers game? I feel as if the 49ers should win, and I feel like they will win. And I'm a little bit concerned about some of the things we're seeing out of the 49ers. We can talk about Jimmy G, but before I get to Jimmy G, I'm actually a little bit concerned with Shanahan, because we know Jimmy G isn't going to give us a whole lot. And I was kind of surprised that they weren't more aggressive to move on from him this offseason. But I think San Francisco should win and cover this game. I think they're overdue for it. Now, I see it getting up to 4. I think you can get it at 3.5. If I was you, I would buy the point. I don't want to give a listen. I just think San Francisco should be able to win and cover this game. And we respect the Bears, and I always, before we talk about every Bears game, you guys know I always mention the defense, and you can never throw out a Bears game because of their defense. But I think their defense plays well, but do you see Justin Fields getting over 10 to 13 points on this 49ers defense? I mean, let me phrase it like this. Let's look at that 49ers film against the Cardinals. Cardinals offense is a lot more explosive. They have a lot better quarterback than the Bears have at this moment, a lot better coaching staff, a lot better scheme. The 49ers defense played really good against Arizona. So I think this 49ers defense will be the reason. But I'm not too excited about Jimmy G. Not too excited, man. And I understand that's the only caution that's involved with that game. I would prefer, like I said before, I'd prefer Lance to start. But it seems like his knee's banged up, and without his running ability, yeah, man, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. All right, I got a lot of Patreon questions, so everyone sit comfy. Okay. Let's get Adrian. Hopefully you can get Marty on the show one day. I am working to get Marty on the show. Let me see if his tip was right last night. He had Troy State plus 19. Oh, he covered it. Marty's 1-1. Marty's 1-1. Okay, let's get to Corey Austin. When you post your picks on here, they're posted in order of your favorite / biggest money play. No. Normally, when I post on Patreon, I post single bets. That's what I do. And normally I try to have an equal distribution. But remember a few weeks ago, for instance, on Miami, I put like plus 2.5, and I put small bet in parentheses. But any bet I post on Patreon, I'm normally going over $300, $400 for. Some I go more, and I tell you if I'm pumping it. I like pumping money lines more than the spreads. If you do see a money line on there, I always write I'm pumping it. But I like to have equal distribution. I like to get my 4, 5, 6 bets of the week. I like to have equal distribution on the bets. Sometimes I vary them a little bit, but a lot of these are against the spread, so we don't have to worry about payout. The payout is all the same. It's just us cracking the code and beating the spread. And I know I'm going to do it 9 times, not 9 times out of 10. But I know if I get 5 games, I know the majority of the weeks I'm going to be winning, and then it keeps adding up that way. It's not glamorous. And I know we've been going like 5-1 last week. I know the other week we were 4-1, and 1 week we were 5-1. Yes, I know that's fun, and the money is rolling in, but we need to stay consistent. And this is a full year thing that we have to do to make money. So be consistent with your bets. Everyone, like giving wagering advice is some of the worst advice you can give to someone, because people are all different, and then also people do things impulsively, if you understand what I'm saying. And I tell you when I'm doing something impulsive, like when Marty was on here, when he posted when he wanted to tell you about the college game, I told you guys this is impulsive and I don't know anything about it. I just wanted to give you guys some action. You have to know what is an impulsive action and what's a smart action. Okay. Jeff Gibron, there you go. I don't know how to send you $5 or 10 on here. Whatever it is, you're well worth it. Enjoy your site. Enjoy your enthusiasm. Appreciate it, Jeff. Appreciate the super chat. Let's get to some more questions. DeAndre Pittman says 435 American dollars on the 49ers. What's your confidence in them winning by 3.5? Because that's low. I'm pretty confident. I feel good about it. We have to see the injury reports, and with the Bears, you always have to be cautious about the Bears because that defense is damn good defense. But like I said, they're kind of demoralized. If you've noticed, like these last 2 or 3 weeks, the Bears defense, you could even say they quit some games, and I don't like saying that, but yeah, so I mean, overall, the 49ers game, I think the 49ers defense is the reason why I like that. Too many questions with the 49ers offense, but I don't think it will matter. And I think they'll control time of possession, and eventually this Bears defense will tire out and the 49ers run game will get going. That's how I see it going, DeAndre. This is from Matt Jamma. I'm good on Marty and his college picks, Lawson's. Touche. He's 1-1. Give the man some credit. Rajay Murray. What's up, Lawson? What do you think about Pittsburgh versus Browns over 30.5? San Fran versus Bears over 27.5. Jags plus 15. Okay, that's a big teaser. I'm going to just go one by one. Detroit plus 15.5. Yeah. Panthers versus Falcons over 34. Take that one off there. That's too risky. Cincinnati versus Jets over 30.5. Yeah, but be careful. Jags plus 15. Yeah. San Fran versus Bears over 27.5. Yeah. But Rajay, on at least that Panthers versus Falcons over 34. Listen, it's probably going to go over 34. I'm not going to come on here and tell you it's not, but that's a crazy teaser, dude. And for instance, last week on my teaser, and my teaser was less points. Remember last week on Patreon? One facet of the teaser was Bucks Bears over 40. Okay. Like that's more automatic than that Atlanta Carolina game. Get something more automatic on there. Maybe tease up the Saints Buccaneers game and bet the under on that. If you want a suggestion. Okay, there we go. Brian, are you posting a 4-team teaser on Patreon last week? Nice 4-team Patreon teaser last week, Lawson. That was fire. Yeah, Brian, I will be posting the 4-team teaser. We hit last week easy. Yeah, we hit that 4-team one last week. I think that is going to become a staple on Patreon. I think it needs to be. It will be up, Brian. I will be posting that like Saturday, 9:15, 10 o'clock, probably in the morning. I'll get it to you Saturday. So make sure you check up there. Soccer pick's coming Saturday too. I have a soccer pick up on for Friday night, a Friday night soccer bet up on Patreon at the moment as well. Wallace Marshall. What's up, Wallace? What's up, Lawson? What do you think about San Francisco on a super teaser? What do you mean about super teaser? Are you adding like 10 or 13 points? If you're going to be doing that, I like it, but make sure it's adding a lot. Like, don't come weak with some like San Fran, add 4 to it, and then we lose it in 0. Then it's just San Fran money line. Or it's just bet San Francisco outright. Sean Shema, but yes, I do like San Francisco on teaser options this week. Sean Shema, what's your best straight bet this weekend when you post? Try informing us what you think has the best chance of hitting. Sean, they all have the best chance of hitting, and I've been 5-1, bro. I've been 5-1, 4-1, 5-1 the week before, hitting Thursday night games. Calm down. Like at a certain point, it's like, okay, I'm not a magician. I do not have psychic powers. I cannot close my eyes and then tell you which one's going to hit. If I post it on Patreon, it's legit. If I post it on Patreon, I have real money behind it. If I post it on Patreon, my life depends on it. Everything's serious on there, bro. Everything is. And win, loss, draw, everything is dead serious on there. If I post it, I mean it. Of course, there's different clarity levels and whatnot. But the whole point is you want to spread your money around on bets regardless of if it's a college fund game or not. And at a certain point, you have to choose your college fund game. I get on here, I try yelling from the rafters. For instance, Dolphins and Jags. I was yelling all week about that game. I dedicated time in every single video that week. That wasn't assigned to you. I get it. No, but like Sean, like I get it, man. But you know, my job is to find the bets and post them on there, not like tell you specifically how much to wager because we're in different situations. Like, I don't know if you have a job or if you don't have a job. Like, I don't have a real job. This is how I eat. So every bet I go 100% hard in the paint. Okay, Charles Kaiser. Niners over the Bears money bet. You could say that. Kelly Cortman. How do I see the 6 or so picks on Patreon? Kelly, I think I answered, but they're all in the post history. Normally I will pin a post. Like for instance, when I post the Vegas spread picks, I will be pinning them on Patreon. Okay, here we go. Sean Shema again. Do you believe the Bengals Jets game will go over 36 on a teaser? I do, but I think that Jets Bengals game is a bit risky because you got Mike White and you don't necessarily know if Mike White's going to be a dance partner. When Mike White came in last week against the Patriots, yes, I did actually watch that film Wednesday night. When he did come in against the Patriots, he looked better. Okay, he looked a lot better than Zach Wilson. But then again, that's garbage time. That's blowout time. We can't take much about that. It should go over 37, but there's been games where the Jets weren't dance partners this year. And for me, a teaser's about mitigating risk. And I think with the Jets, there's always risk. Let's go look at one Jets game. Jets against Denver. Jets offense just didn't show up. I believe they scored 0 points that game. I'm just talking off the top of my head. Pretty sure they were shut out that game. I think you understand the point now. Yeah. So I like I said, there'll be other ones posted up. Jesus Roman, no soccer picks. I posted a soccer pick just now. I posted one for a Friday night bet, a little bet, nothing too crazy, and. Yeah, I'll have soccer picks posted this Saturday. The soccer league I've bet on, we've had a lot of injuries, a lot of international breaks. So it's been hard to know who's going to play or not, but they're coming. They're coming. This is from Brian DePaul. Cheers to Marty and cheers to John Lawson. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian. Anytime. This is from Damon Vance. What's up, Damon? Hey, what's up, Lawson? Great job, by the way. Anytime. Does Marty have any ideas for Friday night's Tulsa and UNLV games? My bad. I just saw this now. He was just on Troy plus 19. I got to get Marty on. Unfortunately, Marty's like 80 years old. But his daughter is visiting him soon. So she said she'll hook him up and we'll get him on. I'm curious to see his mansion that he has in Belize. That's what he says. I haven't seen his house though. Alan Corrales, moneymaker, is a good strategy. Bet a team, and if they are losing, put more money and grab the new spread to average, or just stick with the main bet. Okay, Alan, I think you're asking me about live betting. So live betting, I don't think it's much of an art, okay? And I do it sometimes, but I don't like it. And I used to like it a lot with soccer, but with NFL, I don't like it unless, for instance, like if I have the 49ers at -3.5 this week. Just giving you an example, Alan. No one copy this. Let's say the Bears start off 7-0, 3-0. Hell, maybe the Bears start off 10-0. Okay, something goes bad for San Fran, turnover, and then Justin Fields moves them down for a field goal. If you still have confidence, yeah, this is when I would do the live bet like that in situations like that. Otherwise, it can get a little bit risky. I do it more with soccer because that's something I feel like I have more control over than the NFL. If that makes sense. And make sure you guys hit the like button. Brandon, thank you for the super chat. I'll answer the super chat. Hey, Lawson, just your opinion on the Rams to cover -14. Also, Bengals -10. I feel like the Bengals can cover that easy. What do you think? Let me think. Bengals should be able to cover that. But it is +10. The Jets are at home. The Jets can stop the run, at least sometimes. So that is a little bit of a risk. I understand why you guys think Bengals can do it. But I was telling you guys last week, Bengals +6.5 all week, and you guys didn't like that one. Now everyone's on the Bengals now that they're -10. But I don't like -10s, especially when you're on the road, especially when you're facing a Jets team that should have some motivation. But yeah, Bengals, I get it. I'm not going to hate on the Bengals -10. And Rams to cover the -14. If Tyrod Taylor plays, the Rams aren't covered. Let me make sure. Let me make sure I see the spread. 1 second. Yeah, here we go. If Tyrod Taylor plays, they're not covering that. And plus, it's at -15.5, -16 now because everyone loves betting against Tyrod Taylor. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I would not take the Rams minus 16. If Tyrod Taylor plays. With Davis Mills, anything can happen. Another super chat. This is from Sultan Mir. Thank you, my man. I like that avatar. Hey, John, you think the Pats win over the Chargers? Nah. I think you should stay over it. Stay away from it. I think it's a trap. I'm not sure what the money distribution is on bets, but I would imagine there's going to be more money pumped on the Patriots than your normal underdog. You're going to get the hoodie to shut down Herbert stuff. We've been hearing it all week. I just think the Chargers come out and take care of business. Chargers are off a bye week. And say what you will about the Patriots. They've actually been playing pretty good. Like, I get the read from you. But, Sultan, here's my problem, my guy. The Patriots defense are a pretty good unit. Don't get me wrong. And the Patriots defense has a high football IQ, and Bill Belichick is a good coach. I am not taking anything away from him or his son. But the Patriots don't have the athleticism to keep up with this Chargers offense. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, it's just too much. This Chargers team comes at you in waves, and Herbert's one of the best deep throwers in this league. Yes, the Patriots defense will have some success, but Herbert's going to get going. I don't think they stop Herbert. And I think the bye week helps the Chargers, and this is a time where the Patriots, they're kind of tired. Look at their last 3 or 4 weeks. Look at what they had to do to win at Houston. They've gone through a gauntlet, and they're getting better. I think the Chargers are just a better football team. Okay, let me get back to the Patreon questions. This is from Aaron Hernandez. Why did you change your pledge to $1? That was kind of odd. It's $5. Like, you're putting me in a weird position, my man. Because everyone else pays $5 for it. Okay, here we go. Steven Rasby. How about the Packers? Plus 7.5. Okay. Yeah, you hit that one. I was leaning towards the Packers last night, but I would have never called that upset because Aaron Rodgers' receivers were terrible last night. Okay. This is from Aubrey. Hey, John Boy, I'm having a problem signing in with Patreon as PayPal accidentally blocked me from Patreon. Is there any way I could pay you a lump sum for the rest of the football season? If so, please furnish me with the details. If that happens to you, hit me up on Instagram. We can work something out. This is from Leo Bellera. Law Money. I need your cleaning lady's number for all this money. What do you think about that not playing Sunday? Well, Leo, it's obviously coming into some sort of reality. It's coming into some sort of reality. I think Dak plays, and I think it's more white noise than anything. But yeah, I think there's a possibility Dak doesn't play. Obviously, Vegas knows something we don't. And if you guys could type my IG in the chat for people so people can follow me on IG, because I do like using IG a little bit because I can communicate with you guys better. Like if you guys send me a message, I can send a voice message back. Okay. Yeah, and my cleaning lady, yeah, she's a beast, man. She comes in here and she cleans very quick. Xavier Strickland. Hey, what's up, John? I know you said you make most of your money on single bets. How much do you put up to get a decent profit on something like Jags +3 this week? But Xavier, all spreads pay the same. It's like either going to be +10, maybe -125. So let's say you bet 50, you're going to get 50 or 48 back. If you bet 60, you're going to get like 56 back. If it's maybe, it varies, but it's all in that mix. Like I said, I bet like, like 300, 400, 500 a game. That's normally where I sit at, but it's took a long time to build up. And Oscar, I can't really give those out on here. I mean, you could just go to the Vegas spread picks and look for the money picks. But yeah, Patreon, yeah, I post them there. So I don't want to like, make it valueless there. So okay. Let me get to some more Patreon questions. Okay. This is from Josh Belay. Okay. This is a big one. Hey, John, I just wanted your thoughts on a teaser I'm looking to place this weekend. Lions +10. I like it. Bengals +3.5. I like it. Rams -7. I like it. if Tyrod doesn't play. But even if Tyrod plays, you should be safe with the -7. Jags plus 10.5. Love it. Washington no names plus 10.5. I love it. Bucs Saints under 60. I love it. 49ers money line. I like it. Bills -7. Thinking of adding the Steelers plus 11, but dude, you're getting greedy. The Bills -7's getting a little bit greedy. Just go Bills money line because that's going to have a good payout anyways. But you don't want your big payout to be botched because Tua Tagovailoa throws a touchdown pass with 10 seconds left to make it a 12-point, 6-point deficit instead of a 13-point deficit. You understand what I'm saying? You should be safe, but I'm very cautious. I'm very cautious with the parlays, man. I'm not a big fan of them. I love single bets, but yes, the 14 teaser, I believe we will hit on again on Patreon. Okay, this is the last question on Patreon. This is from Kate Q. Hey, is it a reason Dak was downgraded to questionable? Yes, because he didn't practice. He was limited in practice. And I'd like to definitely come on if possible. Q, come on. What's your email? I'm typing to you on Patreon right now. If you comment with your email, you can come on right now. All right, those are the Patreon questions. Let's get to the YouTube questions. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. We got a super chat. If I see your super chat, I'm going to definitely answer it because we got a lot of people in here. Okay, Tennessee +3. Yeah, I like it. No, nah. Can we just agree to stay away from the Titans-Colts game? Can we just agree that there's nothing good coming there? Pittsburgh +4. I haven't done a lot of research into the Browns-Pittsburgh Steelers game. I mean, that's a game I want nothing to do with. Washington +3. I like it. Tampa Bay -7. Yeah, this parlay, either Tennessee or Pittsburgh's not going to come good for you. And Tennessee -7, my man, is a little bit risky. I mean, Tampa Bay -7. I can't talk today, man. Tampa Bay -7 is a little bit risky. All right, I need to get some water, bro, because I'm not forming my fucking words today. I'll be right back. One sec. Hold up. And is the mic okay? Quality all good? All good. All right, I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, change my shirt. We're ready to go, dude. I was sweating in this bitch. That shit was like a thick texture. All right, let's get to some questions. Okay, let me make sure I can see the super chats because okay, let's get to some YouTube questions. Okay, I'm gonna go through. If I don't see your question, just type it again or type it in a different way. Okay, this is from Joe Ibrahim. Lawson, you think the Giants can outright beat the Chiefs Monday night? Absolutely not. Like I like the Giants. The more this week goes on, the more I do like the +10, especially since we are seeing the Giants start to get more healthy. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, and Yeah, there should be, but the Dolphins don't have good coaching. I mean, the Giants don't have good coaching. I'm not a fan of Joe Judge. I know some people like the guy. I don't think he's a terrible coach. Like even that game against when they beat the Saints, I thought they got lucky, and it wasn't because of like anything Joe Judge did. That was more like a Saquon Barkley game. Mr. Briggs, I really like Pitts, Pats, and Minnie. No. I don't know why you guys are loving Pittsburgh so much this game. Can someone come on here and tell me why Pittsburgh's so popular this week? Like I get it. Like I really like Pittsburgh against Denver, but I didn't have the cojones to put it on Patreon because am I seeing something different from Pittsburgh? Do I need to go turn on some film? Because I watched the Seahawks game, watched the Broncos game. All 60 minutes, I can't say I was too impressed. I'm just saying, what do I want to do? Tony, to come on, you don't need a phone number. You just need to send me your email. All I need is your email. And you can send me on Instagram. I can send a link on Instagram. I think we're going to get Michael Mann on here, but I want to get through a lot of. I already explained this. Listen, I understand why people are saying, okay, Patriots, Chargers has the fundamentals of an upset. It has the allure of an upset. I completely get it. But this Patriots defense isn't athletic enough to keep up with the Chargers. They just aren't. Look at the Patriots defense and look at the teams they're able to stop. They're able to stop teams without elite wide receivers and without explosive plays. Like how many explosive plays are the Jets or Texans going to throw at you? How many explosive plays are the Dolphins even going to throw at you? You see what I'm saying? And look at that Patriots versus Cowboys. The Chargers aren't as explosive as the Cowboys, but they're close. I mean, they're in the same stratosphere, and you better have speed. You better have athleticism. You better have speed rushers who can get to Herbert. I think the hoodie has to blitz to get pressure on Herbert. Matt Judon's been a really low-key pickup. He's really the only free agent pickup the hoodie Bill Belichick got this year that's actually helped and improved things. You could say Kendrick Bourne, but come on now. That's where I'm at. And I think the Chargers should have more athleticism, more fight, more aggression. And that's one thing that's missing from this gumbo of the Patriots. There's not a lot of aggression on offense. They like kicking field goals. They like punting. And Bill, he will turn it on if he needs to win the game. But one factor about this Chargers team no one's mentioned this year is they're cutthroat and they're ruthless. And if it's 4th and 3 and the game's on the line, if it's 4th and 3 and they're down by 10 in the fourth quarter, it doesn't matter if it's on their own 1-yard line. They're going for it. And you need a coach who is feeling himself and coaching aggressive. I think the Chargers come in. I think they punch the Patriots in the mouth. And to be honest, I wouldn't even consider teasing the Patriots. I would stay away from this game if we're talking teasers, regardless of team you want to tease, because I think this game has blowout potential. I think the Patriots are worn down. I think they've been through gauntlet after gauntlet. I mean, they've been through battles, overtime, battles even against the Texans. I think this team is ready to cave. I think they're ready to fall down. And I think Herbert provides the right hand that does it. Okay. Here we go. Let's go. Daniel Galbraith. I really like the Cowboys +3. Yeah, I really like it, but people must be betting on the fact that Cooper Rush is going to play. I mean, because that line doesn't make any sense. I mean, if this was like 2017, it would make perfect sense. Minnesota -3 at home against Romo's Cowboys. But it's not 2017. So I'm not really understanding it. It must be Cooper Rush is playing. Dak was limited participation on Thursday. I'm pretty sure that's why it went off, but you always have to worry about inside info. Okay, here we go. Jacoby, I'm not sure I understand the question. So what you call Dallas? I call Dallas an extremely explosive team. Dallas is a borderline juggernaut on offense. If they're running it, I didn't think they would be this year. It was one of the things I was wrong on because I didn't think Mike McCarthy would be able to run the ball because I felt like they would be too pass heavy, not used to play action. I mean, some of Dak's best passes, some of the Cowboys' biggest plays are off play action. Look at the play to beat the Patriots. I mean, so I love the balance of this Cowboys offense. I feel like they're a little bit better than the Chargers because the Cowboys compound it a little bit better. I'm not a big Austin Eckler guy. Here we go. Here we go. Where were your Patreon questions, bro? I'll go look. I'll go look, man. My bad. I'm not sure. Like, maybe they were setting late because, okay, let me see. Okay, I see what you're talking about. Okay, I see what you're talking about. One sec. Yeah. Okay, I see it now. With so many money picks on the totals, why are these never Patreon bets? Do you generally stay away from over under? One more question. Line movement on Tennessee Indianapolis. Should we be concerned? First of all, I am concerned about the Tennessee Indianapolis game because both teams are unpredictable, and I don't think I'll be betting a Titans game the rest of this year. That's just me. And I did this I think I did this 2 years ago. I just came on the podcast and said, I'm not betting Titans games anymore. I'm not fucking with Mike Vrabel's team anymore on any sort of direction. When it gets to the playoffs, I bet their games and I bet against them, and normally it comes good. So that's my opinion on anything to deal with the Titans. I think Colts still beat them, though. I'm just keeping it simple. I'm not even thinking about the spreads with that game. I just think the Colts beat them. Let me get to, and yeah, with the over under, there's only so much I can bet in the week. And I don't like betting over unders because the people who set the spreads can use stats very well in this. I don't think stats work for like betting, but I think they work for making a handicap. And I think the handicaps are very, very accurate when it comes to the point totals because everything's ran through a computer and a computer can see more things. Like, for instance, a +3 Cowboys at Vikings +3. For me, there's more things a computer can't analyze in that if we're talking the +3. If we're talking the competitive aspect, if we're talking how many points it'll get to, I do trust the computer on that. Although I'm pretty good at it. People say I'm really good at the over-unders. I don't keep a record. I will throw them on teasers. Like last night, I went on and I posted, I said, I'm feeling the under for Arizona and the Packers. But, and so the over-unders are like that. I'm not the biggest fan of them, but I like them. And if you're really good at math, you should think about it. I'm good at math, but I'm not going to sit down and I'm not going to dissect the numbers when I have a lot of film to watch. Okay, here we go. Let's get to another question. Hold up. Okay, let me get back to YouTube. Someone on Patreon wants to come on. I'm getting Michael Mann on today. I'm gonna try to get the guy on Patreon first. Let's see if he wants to come on. Okay. And Q, I'm sending you the invite to your email. When you get it, I'll explain everything. Pretty much all you need to do is click the link and follow the directions. Okay, here we go. Just bear with me, everyone. Lawson show. Here we go. Let me get to this link. Let's get to this link. And make sure you guys hit the like button while you're waiting. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate ladies and gentlemen, everyone in here. Okay, Checo Martinez join the Patreon. Walter, join the Patreon. Vincent Henderson, join the Patreon. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it a lot. Brett joined the Patreon. Danny joined the Patreon. Kevin BR joined the Patreon. Christian J. Marin joined the Patreon. Lino joined the Patreon. Appreciate it. I appreciate everyone on Patreon. Appreciate all of you guys on here. Okay, let's get to more questions. And Michael Mann, bear with me. I'm going to get you on. I'm going to send the invite. We'll see if this guy can get on, and then I'll get you on right after him. This is from Pringle. Do you place your bets in person at casinos or online? Online, 95%. I did place a bet down at the local casino because it was 2 weeks ago. It was the Jags game I was talking about all week. I did place a bet at a local casino here because I wanted the money right away because it was a significant bet. It wasn't a bet I felt comfortable doing online. Let's say that. I feel very comfortable where I'm at online now. At least I had a bad experience at Bovada, was banned for winning too much, made a whole video on it. People who were following my show at the time, they know it happened because we hit like 5 teasers in a row. So they can fill you in on the rest of that. But yeah, so yeah, that's that situation. If that makes sense. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, Jason. I think we're the best gambling show on the internet. Javion Morris, what's with Tampa only being 4-point favorites? Let me spell it out for you, my man. I think 4 is a bit low, okay? I think if you're telling me at 4 that's a bit low, that might be a Tampa hit, okay? I get you. Your instincts are right on that, and don't throw away those instincts. But when it opened at 4.5, 5, I understood it because I've been saying all year, and the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the bankroll, so to speak. Saints have a top 5 defense, and we've been riding that horse all year. We got off them at the right time against the Seahawks, but I see no reason why we don't hop on the lasso again and get riding these Saints. I mean, because let me think about their defense. When you got Lattimore on the outside, you not even get he's one of the best cover corners in the league, but I like his physicality, and that's the whole tone of the Saints defense. I think that might be the most physical, most nasty defense in the league that doesn't show up in stats, but that does show up in turnovers and hitting people, knocking people out of the game. I mean, you got to really respect the Saints defense. Pass rush is still nice. I have no idea how Cam Jordan is still elite at his age, but he is, and that's the way you want to attack the box. You want to attack them with an interior pass rush. Cam Jordan, we should see him in the 5 technique. I'm curious what the Saints did. Last time the Saints blew him out, they put Cam Jordan in the 5 technique. They had like Sheldon Rankins right by him. Sheldon Rankins is no longer on the roster, but they got some good interior rushers, man. I worry about the Saints. Oh, what's up? We got a guest. What's up, Q?
Hi, guy. What's going on, man? What's going on? Thank you for having me.
Yo, what's going on, man? You got like a good organization of screws back there. My goodness,
man, that's my vice. That's what all these winning bets you've been getting me. That's why I've been putting them toward my shoes, man.
People are going to think I paid you to come on here and say that.
Nah, man. I actually stumbled across you because I work overnight for a children's hospital, and I was watching, like, trying to get some bets. And then you came across my timeline, man. I've been hooked since the beginning of this year, bro. It's like I joined the Patreon maybe 2 weeks ago, man, and it's been great, man. So you're definitely a diamond in the rough. I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate you helping the kids, man. That's important.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I need to start asking them some of these bets, some of these parlay bets.
All right. So what game are you thinking about riding this week?
Well, actually, I'm a Saints fan, so I'm gonna give my Saints +10. But I was actually wanting to talk to you about the Pittsburgh game. Why I was leaning toward Pittsburgh. It was just the fact that Mike Tomlin, I feel like he's had a lot of time to get a game plan for Case Keenum, and the fact that Chubb is out as well. I feel like that's a big part of Cleveland's offense. I don't think that Pittsburgh is going to win, but if I give them +7, I don't think that they'll lose by more than 7. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Mike Tomlinson is a good enough coach to come up with a game plan to where they can hang around and at least cover to where they won't get beat that bad.
+7's good.
+7.
And
Okay.
what is it at? Okay, let's look at what it is in Vegas at this moment because it's like kind of been jumping back and forth. Okay, right now it's +4. That makes sense because okay, here's my worry. Here's my worry. Okay, Pittsburgh's offense.
Mm-hmm.
I have a different view of their offense than other people. A lot of people like focusing on Big Ben. Big Ben isn't as good, but here's my problem: that offensive line. And when you see Myles Garrett come into town and you're having problems on the offensive line, I get a little bit worried. Like I get you with the 4, but that's kind of why I want to stay away from this game. And did you see Mike Tomlin this week go off at that press conference? Mike Tomlin's a beast, and so I get what you're saying. I like Case Keenum though.
Okay, well, see, yeah. So do you think he could be more of an offensive threat than Baker?
I think so because I think he makes better. I think he makes smarter decisions. Plus, I think he's tougher. And I don't know if you saw the Thursday night game. Okay, of course, the third string running back went off, but Case Keenum looked pretty good. But I like Case Keenum more in the game against Pittsburgh and Mike Tomlin. But I see what you're saying with the +4, +7. You're 100% right. So
what about the revenge factor? Does the revenge factor come in at all for being put out of the playoffs? And wanting to, and like maybe circling this game on the calendar since last year?
Yeah, and you know how those games get. Like, remember what Myles Garrett did to Mason Rudolph?
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin was heated about that for other reasons. Like, Mike Tomlin carried that stuff. I don't even think he got mad that, like, Mason Rudolph got hit in the head. Like, then Myles Garrett, like, went wild with it, man. Like,
but I definitely appreciate you for taking the time to talk to me, man. But yeah, I think on one I'm gonna put the +7, and then the other one I may just stay away from it. But just the shits and giggles.
Yo, thank you for coming on, and let me know if it hits. I
definitely will, man. I'm part of the nation. I'm a part of the nation now, so you'll be seeing my name a lot. So I thank you.
All right, appreciate you, man. Have a good one. Okay, here we go. Okay, I think we're gonna get Michael Mann on. Now, how was the quality? Did you guys get an echo? Because it depends, but I felt like the quality was good. I was hearing them good. Good question. Good question. Someone needs to check on that. We got an injury guy. We normally have an injury guy on the chat. Like he's just posting different injuries that come up. So wherever that guy is at, I think he's like from California. Get on here, man. Get on here. Okay, let me I want to get Michael Mann on now. Yeah, I haven't seen his name in the chat, but thank you, Tremel, for joining on Patreon. I appreciate it, brother. Definitely helping me out with that. Okay, here we go. Yeah, and I'm pretty excited about this weekend, but I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. This Friday is very important for injuries. Like, make sure you guys watch all those injuries because they've been leaking them later and later during the day. Each week they come out later, man. I had to wait until like 8:30 last night to see a good portion of the portion of the injury reports. All right, I'm going to send this to Michael, man. 1 second. Bear with me. Okay. Stream. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's get to some more questions on YouTube. Yeah, Mike, no problem. It's in your email address. Okay, Cadfire. In soccer, +3, +3.4 is +7.5. How can I explain this? Think of a spread. Pretty much, but don't do that because the bet's not for that. I want you to do double chance. What 0.5 means is double chance, win or draw. 0.75 is a little bit better. For instance, if CSA loses by 1 goal that game, half of your bet is refunded. But I don't like the 0.75s. I like them, but I understand them. I'm not going to explain it right to you, but just think of it like that. It's more security. But I just want the double chance. I want win or draw CSAA. That's why I do the +5. Sorry about explaining random soccer to people. But yeah, it needs to be explained because we got to be betting everything. A lot of you guys bet NBA. A lot of you guys send me messages on Instagram telling me to bet the NBA. But you guys know you guys might be better at betting NBA than me because I respect you guys because it's tough. It is not easy. I respect you guys about NBA and MLB, and I can't understand how you guys do it. I'm honestly amazed. Like, I'm not even bashing because I think it's cool. And everyone needs at least another gravy train. My other gravy train is soccer. I post a lot of that on Patreon, and people even stick with me when football ends on Patreon due to the soccer picks. But everyone needs another gravy train to bet. So I respect you guys for getting it in with NBA. Definitely. Okay, let's get to Michael, man. The Eckler injury is fishy, especially since he heard it on Thursday. Agreed. Yes, I do. Yes, I do, Justin. Normally I wait until like playoffs or week 17. I did a prop bet show last year. I'm thinking of starting it again. I just need a co-host for that. I'm thinking about maybe getting Lauren as a co-host, but also like it is hard for me to connect with people because I have weird hours. I have really weird hours. So, but yes, I'm thinking about doing a prop bet show. I love prop bets. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. Raptors -8. You guys are on Raptors -8 tonight. Saints +4. UFC is. I if you were on my Instagram, I gave you guys the tip on Vittori Paulo Costa. Let's read this from Dreezy88. NBA is trash. Literally, players dropping out an hour or two before games. They play so many games weekly, they're not always on point. Stay away from betting NBA, fellas. It is tough, man. It's no joke. It's kind of like a full-time job. You know what I'm saying? I mean, betting NFL is a full-time job for me. Imagine if the games are every day. Wouldn't even see my girlfriend. I wouldn't even have sex this year. I would be so busy if there was NFL games every year. My goodness. Baker is playing. Corey says Baker is playing. I don't know if that makes I don't know if that crystallizes things. I'm not so sure Baker's better than Case Keenum. Especially in this Kevin Stefanski offense. I mean, I don't want to go too crazy. Jigga, you can join on Patreon. You can just check the link in the description. And yeah, it's just link in the description. You'll find it. And it's only $5 a month. Vancouver. Yeah, dude, on Instagram I asked where you guys were from. You guys are from a lot of different places. I liked hearing where you guys were from. Pablo Diograciasi. Do you do Champions League or Premier League soccer? Also La Liga? No, I just bet Brazilian League. I bet Brazilian League because I like it because it's like the NFL. All teams are equal. Everyone's got a chance. You don't have one team with $1 billion payroll against a team with $100,000 payroll. Like the payrolls are closer. I like it. I like the passion. I like the fights in the stands. I like the confusion. I like people pushing referees. I like that stuff. And then I've learned how to control and tame it throughout the year. So I like stuff like that. Okay, here we go. I'm getting us some more questions. Someone's on UNLV +10. Kerry Soriano. Playing a semi-healthy Baker against a dominant TJ Watt is sort of nuts. I agree with you. Especially the way Baker has been playing. Like, does anyone really want to do the hard work and sit down and watch the film? Because remember, on Patreon, I did make that Browns game a money pick late because I've always believed in Case Keenum. I'm not saying he's great or a top 10 quarterback or he's even equal to Matt Ryan, but what I'm saying you is this dude's a competitor and he knows how to let receivers make plays and he doesn't have an ego. Baker Mayfield has an ego. And for me, if you look at this performance, I've watched every Browns game this year. Yes, I have. look at these performances from Baker. There's just haven't been good enough. And we can blame the injuries, but everyone in this league is hurt. You're telling me Pat Mahomes isn't hurt? You don't hear him using an excuse. You're telling me Aaron Rodgers ain't a little bit banged up this year? You don't hear him using an excuse. I'm just sick of excuses from Baker Mayfield. Like even Kyler Murray when he was hurt. Kyler Murray had a way worse shoulder injury last year. He still got out and he played and he didn't complain. He didn't complain or make excuses. Remember when Kyler Murray had a terrible second half of the season and everyone was saying, oh, he sucks, bro. The NFL caught up, bro. Like maybe it was some of that. But he had a bum ankle and a borderline torn labrum, and we didn't hear him use one excuse. Yet Baker Mayfield gets excuses, and people keep writing him off. And then people look at me like I'm psycho, like I need to be put in a straitjacket when I say Case Keenum's better than Baker Mayfield. I don't even want to say better at this point. It's just like sometimes you got to be honest and you got to say which dude gives us the better chance to win. Which dude do Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham like balling with more? I guarantee you they like Case Keenum more. He knows where to put the ball. He just knows. He doesn't have the strongest arm, doesn't do anything good. He just hangs in the pocket to the last minute. He knows how to roll, and he'll throw it up to you and let you make 50-50 plays. If I'm a receiver in this league, I'd rather play with someone like Fitzpatrick or Case Keenum than, like, let's say, who's a guy who – Teddy. There's so many careful quarterbacks in this league. You got to give your guys 50-50 opportunities. And that's one thing I think the Browns have more playmakers than the Steelers. So that's what makes the game complicated. John Dolphin, do you think it's the Panthers' time to win this week? I mean, right? Aren't they due? I mean, John, think about it like this. I mean, could they have played any worse against the Minnesota Vikings? Could they have played any worse against the New York Giants? I don't think so. So it can only go up from here. We're getting Michael Mann on. We'll see what he says. But, yeah, Carolina +3 is more tempting than money line to me. I won't be betting it because Carolina is just a non-functioning entity at this point. And I can't stand people like Sam Darnold. He's one of those guys who shouldn't be starting in this league when Cam Newton or Case Keenum aren't starting. Like that. That's just one opinion. I don't like people like Sam Darnold that much. Yeah, and Atlanta will leave you in spreads. You guys thought I was crazy when I posted Miami +2.5 on Patreon. I understand it was a little bit verbose. I understand sometimes maybe things seem a little bit risky, but you got to always remember with the Atlanta Falcons, they will always leave you in games. They will always leave you in games. They were up like 20-7 on the Dolphins. 20-7, and Tua was playing terrible. They still let the Dolphins take the lead. That's just the Falcons. They are what they are. Okay, let me. Justin King, what about Pittsburgh up to +11? Number one rule, my friend, never bet on your own team. That's just a rule. I've done it before. I've only bet 2. I've only bet the Vikings 2 times in my life. Both times they won, but both times it was a lot of money. I only did it because it was a college fun game. This isn't a college fun game, my friend. This is going to be a battle. This is going to be a slugfest. This is going to be 2 physical teams beating the living hell out of one another. Anything can happen in this game. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't think I'm far off on that. I know. Talk about a receiver, man. If I'm a receiver, I want to get my money. I want to get my catches. I want someone throwing it my way at least 8, 9, 10 times a game. And I want a quarterback who trusts me, who gives me 50-50 chances. I mean, I would rather play with Kirk Cousins than Teddy or Darnold because I want someone to give me 50-50 chances down the field. That's just how you win in this league. Edward Collins, Navy, 4-1 against the spread against the overrated Tulsa squad. Ed, does Navy still do the triple option? That triple option, man, that used to be when I was 13 and 14. I used to hit the under on them a lot because they had controlled time of possession so good. Brian Gant, what is your IG? My IG is Lawson Bets NFL. Yeah, I get it, Brian. I mean, Brian, when I'm seeing Atlanta, what I'm seeing on film, you're seeing some good things. Like, look at, I like how they're using Cordell Patterson at running back. That's one of my favorite players in this league. I mean, he's better than most running backs in this league, and he's not, and they just use him there. They should be using him at wide receiver, though. Come on now. But I really like this Matt Ryan Pitts combination. This Pitts kid gets open every single play. It's just you get the mistakes from Atlanta, and they keep people in games. Like you can have a read. You can say they're going to beat Carolina. That's fine. That's probably a smarter pick than Carolina. But I'll tell you what, I think Carolina has that rock with a chance to win late. You better bring your inhaler or what's something that people calm down when they blow into the paper bag. That's like betting Atlanta. That's being Atlanta Falcon better, my friend. Yeah, Kyle, we talked a lot about the 49ers already. Yeah, I think that 49ers game starts with the 49ers defense. Listen, I'm not feeling what's going on with Jimmy G in this offense, and I think people need to criticize Shanahan a little bit. I think he deserves some criticism. But, yeah, I think San Fran wins this game defensively. I think it's similar to when I had him on Patreon against the Eagles. A lot of people said I was wrong about that. And that was on the Patreon, the game against the Eagles. It reminds me of that, doesn't it, a little bit? And I feel I like Justin Fields, but I also feel like I think this Jalen Hurts Eagles offense, even with how bland Sirianni's play calling is, I feel like their offense is better than Chicago's offense at the moment. Am I crazy? The sticks. What's up, my guy? Enjoy your life in the country. That's where you have to live. I live in a big city now in Brazil, but I will be moving to the country there soon. That's where. Yeah, I love it, man. Keep getting your money. Lawson knows his stuff. If you're scared, maybe you shouldn't be betting. Yeah, there's always going to be a little bit of risk involved in any sort of gamble. Okay, Tony Trill DM his email. I want to see if we can get him on. Let me get Tony Trill on. I sent I'm actually surprised people. I like how you guys got the courage to come on. Okay, let me see. What's your Instagram, Tony? Okay, there we go. Okay, Anthony. God damn. I don't see it. Are you on maybe my general mess? Oh, I got you. Okay, we're good. I'll get you on. Hold up. Got you. Thank you, Sozo Rose, for joining on Patreon. I probably butchered that. I'm pretty good with saying names. Dean Poole, Patreon question. What's up, Dean? I think Dean's in Ireland. That's my guy. I think he's moving to Brazil too. Don't want to give his life away on the internet. My bad, Dean. Dean says Bengals -6.5. I like it. I think it's smarter to move that down a little bit. Bills -6.5. Yeah. Rams -6.5. Yeah. I like that. I think that's good for I think that's a good parlay. Don't put too much on it though, but that should hit. I'm a little bit scared about Mike White with the Jets. Listen, I always fear a response, and you guys can say I'm crazy, and you guys made sure I heard it about that Patriots game last week. But believe it or not, like, you guys act like you guys were trying to troll me. Like, no, I've said it before, and I've said it again. I'm not trying to charm you guys. I'm pretty authentic. I think I have one of the highest IQ comment sections on YouTube. So you guys are going to know shit I don't know. And sometimes you guys are actually right about stuff. And I do read your comments, especially if someone is talking about when they were watching film or anything like that. So, like, no, I'm not going to get mad because sometimes you guys are going to have a better read on a game than me. who the hell has a perfect read on every single game? I mean, it's been getting crazy on Patreon, but there's games I have no idea where the hell they're going to go. And that's why I don't put them on Patreon, because, I mean, gambling's not easy. Okay, let me get to, okay, I'm sending you the link now, Tony. So let's see if Tony comes on. If you have any headphones, Tony, that might help. But if you don't stress about it. There's just will be a little bit of an echo. Yeah, I should, John, but you know, the audience could go back too. A lot of people go back to the videos, so that's always something that helps. Okay, we got Michael Mann on here. Oh, did it go on? What's up with that? My shit just froze. Okay, there we go. There we go.
Hey, man.
Michael Mann, how's it
Hey,
going?
man.
Yeah, you're in. I think the internet's lagging a little bit.
I'm gonna come back on my phone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back on my
Take
phone.
your time.
All right, cool.
Technical difficulties, live TV. But yeah, as long as we got over 200 people in here, I'm going to keep going. Caleb, but do you see Tampa getting upset this week? Yeah. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there's going to be a good performance from the Saints defense. What does that mean for the Saints offense? What does that mean for Jameis Winston and Sean Payton? I don't know. I really don't. And Caleb, I'm sure you've noticed this. I mean, we were the OG. This channel is the OG Tampa Bay Buccaneers bandwagon. Last year, I had them as a Super Bowl pick preseason, and I actually got wavered on them a little bit last year. But I don't think Tampa's getting upset this week. I'm getting Michael Mann on because I know Mike. Let's just get right into it, bro.
There we go.
Cell phone's a lot better. Picture clarity is like 30 times better too.
Yeah, my computer sucks.
Bro, what did they give you?
Well, it's not. I shouldn't say the computer. It's the service is what's trash. But,
Got you.
Yeah, we're good now.
Anyway, so we're talking about Saints Tampa. We might as well get into that before we talk about Carolina, Atlanta. Do you see Tampa getting upset this week?
I don't think they'll win, but I think it will be a competitive game. Like I think it'll be like it won't be a blowout or anything like some people are saying. Sean Payton, like you can even just look at last year. Like he outcoached Arians. You could argue every time they played. The only reason they really lost in the playoffs was because Breeze couldn't throw it deep. But
yeah,
I'm curious. I'm looking. Well, go ahead.
Are we a little bit worried about Jameis, or are we going to just scrap up that Seahawks game and say, all right, he's not going to be that bad. It's going to get to how he was against Washington, or is that more Jameis? Are we going to see more of that?
Well, to be honest, I don't even think that was Jameis. That was more the receivers not getting open and dropping deep passes. I thought Jameis actually played pretty well. I'm curious to see how he does.
No, I agree with you. I thought he played good because there was a lot of times he could have threw one up and lost that game for him. Mm-hmm. And he did.
And he even took the sack like toward the end, even though it probably could have been a touchdown if he threw it. He still held on to it just to prevent that potential turnover. So, yeah, I'm curious to see what he does this week because Seattle's defense and Tampa's are pretty different. Tampa, they have a bad secondary, but they can actually get after you with the pass rush. And that's – if you look at the Saints' schedule, they have not played any good defenses besides Carolina, and we absolutely destroyed them.
And we know Tampa Bay front seven. If Todd Bowles can do one thing, we know this Tampa Bay defense isn't consistent. We're not going to get that. That's just how they are. But one thing they are consistent at is that front seven stopping the run and getting the run fits.
Yep.
Unfortunately for the Saints. That's why I don't think it's an upside because they won't be able to run the ball.
I'm really looking forward to see how Jameis plays, though. Like I want to see this Bucks pass rush just getting after him, getting in his face, and seeing what he can do. Because Saints receivers are going to find their way to get open against this Bucs secondary with how injured they are right now. So I think there's an avenue, but I am excited to see what Jameis does.
I'm really excited for this game too. And I'm probably going to lose some subscribers for this question, but this is a weird question. What do you think about Drew Brees? I'll start off. I think Drew Brees is like a really like fake person. And I don't know. I just got that vibe when he was on the Manning cam last night. I felt like he took an underhanded on Monday night. I felt like he took an underhanded shot against Jameis, and I felt like it was a low blow. They were teasing Jameis for not reading the mic. Drew Brees was saying, Peyton just asked him simple questions. Is this the same offense? And then Drew Brees is like, long silence, it's the same play. And I didn't like it because that Saints defense has been carrying the Saints for the last 3 years, and no one talks about it because Drew Brees has a few laundry cleaning commercials. And then also some of the stuff Drew Brees did during the lockout, I don't want to bring that up. Him and DeMar Smith, some of the stuff they did to the players during the lockout, making those deals in the back room, I just don't like the guy. And I know Saints fans are going to get mad, and there's going to be people who get mad, but I just had to get that off my chest, and I needed to run it by you because you're a very calm person most of the time.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I actually I have a ton of Saints players that I despise, that I can't stand. Your Cam Jordans, your Michael Thomases when he talks on Twitter. Who else? I can't even think of it.
Cam
Malcolm
Jordan's
Jenkins.
a good guy most of the time.
Yeah, Malcolm Jenkins, Marshawn Lattimore. What's the number 22? Johnson. I can't even say his name. I hate all those guys, but I actually really do have a respect for Drew Brees because I think, for one, I think he's a genuinely good person at the end of the day. And two, if you look at how bad some of those Saints teams were all those years back when they had no defense in the mid 2015, back in the good old days, they had nothing, and Brees was constantly there, always fighting, scoring 40 points a game to keep them in games.
Agreed.
So I respect him for that. I hate him because he always.
This is how the Saints offense has looked the last 2 or 3 years, though. And I didn't like Drew Brees making that comment because he's been carried by the run game and the physical line and Sean Payton the last 3 years.
He's been discounting Teddy Bridgewater is what he's been because that arm can't push it anymore.
Yeah. And at least we caught on to that the last 2 years, so we were able to make some easy money.
It's just he's so smart that he can throw checkdowns and knows exactly who the open guy's going to be.
Yeah. So let's get to let's get to the Carolina-Atlanta game. Carolina +3 on the road to Atlanta. Do you have a read on this one?
I'm probably going to bet us to lose, to be honest. I'm not feeling good about this game at all. I know people are saying, oh, Atlanta's defense sucks. It doesn't matter, dude. The Panthers' offense is so bad that they will get in their own way long before Atlanta's defense does. So I'm not. It might be I think it's gonna be 20-13 at best. It might be bad. This offense just there's not a play goes by where Joe Brady calls a good play, Sam Darnold makes a good throw, and the receiver actually catches the ball. You don't see all three of those things happen, and the offense has really just been out of rhythm for the last month and a half, and it's been absolutely pathetic. I've never seen the Panthers offense look this bad.
I watched some of the film of the Giants Carolina game. I watched the first half. So you'll remember this. I seen Joe Brady. You're right. Joe Brady has been bland. 2 times the Panthers had the ball within the 10-yard line. 2nd and 9. Okay, they were within the 10-yard line. You know when they were backed up in the first half. Giants, they just play cover 3. Both times Joe Brady calls just all slants. Mm-hmm. Basic play call, most basic play call. The reads are there. The guys were open. But instead of pushing the slant, Sam goes down and checks down to the flat. And then one time he doesn't even look to the right side. They got Robbie Anderson. He was getting in the gap. He would have had room to run. It's just little plays like that. And you're right, Joe Brady's not helping. And it is getting in Joe Brady's head now because Christian McCaffrey's not coming back at the right time. There's just not a lot he can do. And Sam Darnold is at confidence level 0. And honestly, if there wasn't Walker sitting behind him, if the Panthers actually took that backup quarterback position seriously, I think they'd have a new guy this week.
It's up for debate. I'm with you, though. I don't want to say I've given up on Darnold because I still respect his talent as a player, but it's his fault above anyone else that the offense is bad. My problem with Joe Brady is that every play is meant to get 5 yards. There's no downfield aggression. And when the rare times he does do it, Darnold misses the throw. If you look at our best action. Yeah,
And
if you look at our best drive of the game, where we were actually like throwing the ball, like the Panthers' offense was best when we were targeting the deep middle, intermediate of the field toward DJ Moore. Actually pushing the sticks instead of playing to them.
well, that's how they ended up finally not beating the Vikings, but getting past the Vikings defense. Because instead of throwing underneath all day, they actually try to throw over Eric Kendrick's head, or he'll just lay down and get on all your underneath routes. So that's what you need to do. But yeah, man, I'm not feeling it. And I know Atlanta, and they keep teams around, but I think I want to see the Panthers do something better. But unfortunately, there's no backup quarterback option. And I think they've destroyed Sam Darnold's confidence. And I'm getting to this, and I've been thinking about this. You can go on wherever you like. But like, why can't someone just bring Cam Newton in? I'm not even talking about specifically anything about Sam Darnold, but I am starting to wonder, like, why can't anyone bring like Cam Newton in?
Well, I know the Panthers won't because the two sides have beef each other. I have tons of conspiracies about you remember how ugly that situation was last year when it finally broke out, how they took forever to decide, and then they literally decided last minute they were going to cut him. And
it was a low
blow,
blow, dude.
Yeah,
it was a low type of guy Tepper is.
Yeah, I completely disagree with that move at the time. And I think I've been proven right so far that was a bad move, no matter what you think about Teddy or Sam Darnold. Like, honestly, if I was the owner, I would sign him right now because it can't possibly get worse than what we've seen the last 2 Sundays.
Yeah, and it's not bad enough to get a good draft pick. And you want to compete. And there's players on this team ready to compete. And there's a lot of young guys on this team. I haven't seen any stats, but just from my vibe, Panthers have one of the youngest rosters in the league, probably. And that's where I'm just like, you don't want Sam Darnold. You're leaving him out there sinking. And I think now it's like psychological for him. We can talk about that X's and O's, but it's psychological now for him. I think he's done.
I don't want it to spread to the defense because you remember how Jacksonville was a few years ago when they were coming off their AFC Championship year. Like, Bortles sucked, but that defense would always fight early on, but eventually they just got gassed out. If you look at how our defense has been playing the last 3 or 4 games, the offense has done nothing. And I looked this up, and I don't mean to throw stats in your face, but they've averaged they only give up 7 points in the first half per game the last 3 weeks, despite the offense not doing anything. But they're constantly left on the field. Every week, this defense does everything they can. And every week, they're just let down by their quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. And even one of the weeks, I just said, just bet the Panthers with the first half spread because at least they're good during that time. And like you said, because the defense, they get hung out to dry week in and week out. Yeah, so I think we beat this game to death. What other games are you looking towards this weekend?
I think your Vikings got a shot against Dallas this week. I'm not putting it past him. And I got a couple.
Keep talking.
Yeah, I got a couple thoughts about this. For one, I don't know what's up with Dak's injury. I don't know if you heard about that calf injury he sustained on the last play of the Patriots game, but it's been there's been speculation about it. Dak came out and said that they may not even let him play. He says he'll go if it's his choice, but he's saying that they might not let him go. Even if he thinks he's good. So they might hold him back. And then additionally, I just think you guys can move the ball. I've been very impressed with how Kirk Cousins has been this year. I know you don't like him. I know he crumbles if you get pressure on him. But if you watch the last couple of games, I know that during the Panthers game, Carolina was actually hitting him and getting in his face, and he was still stepping up and just delivering dimes.
Yeah, he gets hot. And I'm not as low as on Kirk Cousins this year. Even against Cleveland, when they only put up 7 points, they moved the ball really, really well. And you have to like what the Vikings can do against their secondary because I know everyone's on Diggs' brother. The stats are there. But outside of him, what does that secondary have? And is he even a top 5 corner? So I feel like the Vikings can move it there. And then, okay, we said the same thing. Listen, this Cowboys pass rush is legit, but I think it's a little bit different. I don't think it's as good as everyone thinks it is. Remember against Carolina how much pressure they got? I don't think that's going to happen to Kirk.
Yeah, and they were also blitzing the heck out of us. If you blitz Kirk Cousins and those receivers, I feel like he'll actually make plays on you.
Yeah, and if Cooper Rush is playing, you have to bet the farm on the Minnesota Vikings because they will beat him. And at least the Vikings, they got Anthony Barr back. And I know Anthony Barr isn't what he was. And obviously Kendrick's the engine that makes everything run on that defense at this point. But getting him back really helped because the Vikings don't have a lot of depth on defense. You know that. That's why like Carolina really needed to get to the 3-4 wide receiver sets and really start getting to our nickels, really start getting the Vikings there. That's when the Vikings run out of gas because they don't got any depth.
I was about to say that. Anthony, when I watched the Lions game, Anthony Barr looked absolutely exhausted out there on that last drive. Like he was like limping around, just trying to stay on the field. So,
dude, this game's not easy. It's a tough game for tough people, and when you get tired, that's when you get hurt too. So you want to be able to get some guys in. And Cooper Rush, I've seen him play a few times. I don't know about you. I don't think he's going to be able to get anything going. And also the Vikings front seven, I get it. Like I could see some people saying, okay, this is going to be a surprise. Like they're going to pound the Vikings. But I think the Vikings at least can fortify up there enough at this point. But we'll see.
They just need to
Chuba
make
Hubbard
sure
was
they're
tearing them up. So
what?
Remember Chuba Hubbard?
Oh yeah, but it wasn't that great. It was bad enough to where Joe Brady started calling more passes for some reason. But yeah, that needs to be the priority though. If Vikings like actually stack the box, and I wouldn't say I feel comfortable, but if I gotta pick an alleyway, do I want to leave 7 in the box and let Zeke run on us, or do I want to let Dak throw it on us one-on-one? I would take the one-on-one option because I feel like your secondary is actually not that bad. Like I don't know what happened with Peterson and what his injury stats is, but they actually look really good against our wide receivers.
Because they started looking better. Peterson's been good the last 4 weeks. And Rashad Breeland. And the problem with the Vikings is we've had to use Harrison Smith as the center fielder this year, which isn't the best use of him. So Zimmer finally quit that. He started quitting that against you guys. Thank God. Maybe it gave him a little bit of courage. So he finally got out of that. Thank God, because Harrison Smith is best around
in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, up front.
Yeah. So I agree, and that's one I might have to watch on Patreon, man, because with Dak out, that changes everything, and that puts a lot on Mike McCarthy. Like, if this was Shanahan and you gave me Zeke Elliott, a pretty good offensive line, I mean, I could see something pulled, I could see something formed, but I don't see it out of Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, and speaking of Shanahan, what do you think of that? I know you said you got 49ers and Bears as a money pick, but I don't necessarily agree with that.
Go on. No, 49ers haven't been good the last 3 years. Like, outside the Super Bowl, they've been a terrible team, if you look at it.
Yeah, the 49ers – well, I don't think the 49ers are bad. But my thing is you got that Bears pass rush, and if you get to Jimmy G and he fumbles and it goes the other way for 7, that's going to turn the whole game around right there. And, I just don't trust Jimmy G against this Bears defense. And you could say, like, the other side of the ball is worse, but – I mean, you really never know. These are two good defenses that could really go back and forth all day, and you just don't know which one's going to come out on top.
Well,
isn't it like 3.5 or 4 right now? The spread?
Yeah, it's getting up to 4. It's at 3.5. I got it at 3. But yeah, I'm still going back and forth on it on Patreon. I just want to get it early at 3. I'll leak that out. Here's why. I get what you're saying. And you're right. I think that might be the most concerning thing of Jimmy G's game. The lack of pocket awareness.
Yeah.
And it seems hard and difficult for him to throw screen passes in the fourth quarter. Just want the guy to be able to throw a screen pass in the fourth quarter, and probably 2 of those losses would have turned into W's, especially the primetime ones.
And I feel like he's always subject to get completely blindsided and fumble the ball. I feel like every 49ers game I watch, that happens.
Every time. And the fumbles are atrocious. And listen, he's not that unathletic. Look, he's not Drew Bledsoe, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be fumbling every time he's touched on an NFL field. I mean, Drew Bledsoe had a play when you could actually rip quarterback's head off. That's the most unathletic quarterback I've ever seen. And he doesn't drop the ball every time.
Yeah. Yeah, he really needs to work. He's got that Kyle Allen syndrome of just fumbling the ball every time he gets sacked. But,
Mike, I got to take this Patreon. Well, 1 second. Okay, you can $40 donation. Thank you, Rev. That's very generous of you. Very generous. Thanks again for that Patreon teaser. Went large on it, and it helped me to a nice profit last week. Had Green Bay plus 13 and over 43.5 last night. Still need Pitt plus 10.5, KC plus 2.5, and Washington football, Denver under 51. KC's going to cover that 2.5. I guess Mike can comment on that because someone actually was talking Giants upset today. Pittsburgh plus 10.5. Yeah, Washington football, Denver should go under, but that might be the one that bites you, bro. But it should go under. Okay. Your thoughts?
I don't know anything. I don't know what's going on with Kansas City right now. All I'll say is like the Giants defense had a good game against us, but that's more about the Panthers sucking more than the Giants being elite. So let's just get that out there first and foremost.
We knew they could stop the run. We don't know if they can stop the pass.
Yeah, and it was Sam Darnold. So what are you gonna do? But I don't know what's going on with Kansas City right now. Like I didn't watch the game or anything, but to not score more than 3 points against the Titans is pretty bad.
It's really bad.
Yeah, and they've been turning the ball over like crazy lately. They just don't seem to be like a well-oiled machine right now, like they normally are.
Yeah. Patreon picks 10:30 tonight. And any other games you got to read on this week?
No, I'm good. That was pretty much everything I had. I wrote them down before coming on here. That's why it took so long. So
yeah, are you in Florida right now?
Yeah, I'm still in Florida.
Oh, how is it down there?
Hot. It's still hot.
You want to give a shout out to your Instagram page? I just went on that, and it's funny reading like after Panthers loss. Like every time Panthers lose, I'm gonna go on there and write.
Troll. Yeah, it's Panthers Ranter. Here, let me.
Yeah, write it.
Yeah, I can't get on. I'll when I come back, I'll type it in. But
yeah, I'll put it up. Appreciate it, bro. Yeah, Mike, have a great weekend, dude. And honestly, this week might be a week you might not even want to watch the Panthers. That's gonna.
I don't want to watch them. It can't go on for 10 more weeks like this. Like it just can't, right? Like it can't be this bad.
You gotta go. You gotta get 2 TVs because you gotta at least watch something else with that.
Yeah, I know something.
There's gonna be like 6 challenges in that game. You know that too. There's gonna be like 7 challenges. Like it's gonna be atrocious.
There's probably gonna be a safety or something. You know, like a fumble for a touchdown. A lot of missed extra points. It's gonna be an absolute crap show. So
yeah.
But
all right, Mike. I'll see you, man.
See you later, man.
It stops when Gilmore comes in. Make single bets. Best advice ever. Yeah, I've been preaching that for years. All right. Yeah, Rob. Yeah, thank you for that super chat, Rob. I mean, that $40, man. Thank you for keeping the channel going. I really appreciate it. And Tony, if you want to come on now, my bad about that. We went a little bit long, but Tony, if you want to come on, feel free. I'm going to just go get some water. I think we're going to go at least a full 2 hours because we're not slowing down. We got 240 people on here. I should see 240 likes, although I do think people hate watch me. I do like the people who hate watch me. It is kind of funny. Yeah, so I'm going to go get some water. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Let's get most I ever lost was 4K on that Clippers versus Nuggets series. Yeah, about betting series and futures like that is a smarter way to gamble large sums of money. Okay, I think Tony's on. Let's see if we can add him to the stream. Tony, what's going on?
What's good, Lawson? I just followed you. Been man, I just been detailing you. You were like, I'm not even joking. I have on my paper right here. You were like 5-1 for underdogs last week. You had like Bengals. I followed the Bengals. I think the one. Did you have Jets last week?
Unfortunately,
no.
I didn't put him on
Patreon,
but I thought the Jets would win last week.
I just saw you because I just watched the YouTube videos, but I'm gonna join the Patreon soon.
Appreciate it. And
Let's see.
what were you thinking about
You can
this
hear me,
week? You got any bets this week you're gonna hit?
So this week, yeah, I like the Jags. I think Trevor Lawrence is the better quarterback for sure. I think off a bye week, I don't really think there's like, besides the Super Bowl, Urban Meyer is not that bad compared to Pete Carroll. You know what I mean? I think Urban Meyer is pretty decent. It's just he has a bad roster right now.
I got to comment on that because that's something that is one of my biggest kept secrets in the NFL. No one wants to talk about Pete Carroll these last 2.5, 3 years. He is getting a bit old, man, and you're seeing the productivity of that team shrink. And then also with the Jags, I feel like the only thing that can cost us that game, especially if you're going with the +4, is colossal mistakes on special teams. The Jags did that. The Jags should have beat Denver and the Cardinals. They played pretty decent. Right. I'm not saying should have, but played decent. Like, I expect them to get better. And like you said, Lawrence is better. What's Gino really going to do? He might even give the Jags a few turnovers because the Seahawks are going to be pressing to win this game. So,
bro, I wish I followed you the week you had Dolphins and Jags because I shot myself in the foot. I was saying to myself, Jags are going to win this, but I just didn't have the guts to pull the trigger. I didn't even play it.
Because I'll tell you one thing. I don't watch a lot of NFL media or TV. I try to get the injury reports. And, sometimes people will get me. Sometimes, like, I'm Patreon. I didn't know Kareem Hunt was out, right. On that game. People are going to get me on that. Did it make a difference? No. But, yeah, I try to stay away from that stuff because they form opinions. And if you hear them talk about the Jags, which they never do, but if they talk about the Jags, they're going to talk about them like they're the 72 Buccaneers when they're not really that bad. And Lawrence is getting better, but the stats aren't good for him. But I'll say a stat about the Jags too. I want everyone to recognize because I think outside of Jamar Chase, he is the rookie of the year. Jags are 32 out of 32 in separation out of receivers. That's terrible.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, that is. So I like the Jags. I actually got these picks. I don't know if you watch the show. It's on FS1. You ever heard of Colin Cowherd?
Yes.
Okay, so he claims he's 60% like in his career all time. Maybe I'll buy it. He's not doing great this year. I rode with him a couple years, I think it was 2018 and 19. He was pretty decent, but he's slumping a little bit. So I just wanted to analyze his little Blazing 5 with you on the stream real quick.
Okay, let's hear Colin Cowherd.
So he's got Jags. So I'm with that. I like that. He's got Bills -14. And he says I usually don't take even lines above 7. He doesn't. He usually likes dogs. Yeah, that's tough.
But Miami's pretty Bills, bad. But
it's in Bills. Yeah. Is it cold? I got to check the weather on that. Maybe it's a teaser, but
like 48, 50. I didn't see the weather, but I'm near there right now. It's going to be at least a little bit crisp.
You've been hearing the Deshaun Watson news? They're claiming that Miami's already accepted a trade and everything. They're just working out legalities at this point. They want him on that roster.
Yeah, I actually do have a comment about that. Why are people so surprised Deshaun Watson is trying to force a move towards Miami? Think about it. You got Gesicki, you got Devontae Parker, and you get to live in Miami. I don't understand why that was so hard for people to understand. Like, they want him to force a move to Philly or New England. Why would you go to either of those situations? I didn't quite understand some of the Deshaun Watson stuff. And he's not going to New England anyways, but I was just throwing that out there. But,
Right. I heard that a lot. A lot of people were claiming New England. They got the offensive line, but there's nothing on the perimeter to throw to. You just got a run game. That's it. Maybe you could run read option with Deshaun, but I don't even think that would get you much.
Yeah.
So
and
you don't like Bills.
Tua is their quarterback, so it keeps going back and forth. And for me, Tua's just not the guy there. And he's not good enough. Like, that game last week, Atlanta, he was so bad against the Atlanta Falcons. He did everything not to cover that spread. Even Matt Ryan was trying to give away the game too. It's just pathetic.
Dolphins defense is above average. It's good. I like Brian Flores. I mean, they got skill position players, but yeah, Tua is just – he's got all the red flags. He played at Alabama. He had 4 first-round receivers. That's the height. Yeah. That's the peak. That's the best he's ever going to be. He's a national champion. He was down 13-0. It's just the NFL. It's harder. You got to – they're expecting you to be a savior in Miami, and you can't do that. You just can't.
Yeah. And I've been down this road with Miami before. Okay, what are the other games Colin Cowherd has?
Patriots +4.5. That one's that's tough.
Yeah, I get it. Like, I get his rationale, but I guess I don't. You probably heard me talk earlier, but I'll just say it for
Right.
people who are joining now. Like, at a certain point, aren't the Patriots going to like kind of run out of steam? Have you seen these last 4 weeks they've had? I mean, they've been going overtime. Every game is a gauntlet. Yeah, the Jets game was easy, but this is a lot harder opposition. And I say this every year. The Patriots don't have athletic defenses. On this Chargers team, they get I don't know the stat. I don't really care about the stat, but I test it. We know they get probably top 5 explosive plays in this league. They're just going to make more explosive plays. I worry about the Chargers sometimes stopping the run, but I don't think New England's going to pound them. That's my only worry. New England pounding them with the run game. I don't think they will.
Like last year, I remember it was a blowout, if I'm not mistaken. I think Chargers and Patriots, with Cam Newton.
Remember.
But it was a blowout, and it was like turnovers and stuff. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like the run, like they're like last in rush defense, I think the Chargers. But the Patriots passing game isn't like complex enough where like you feel you have to kind of worry about the run. You can kind of zero in on it and kind of just stuff it from the point, like single back and pistol. But I just don't see any big plays for the Patriots in that one. And Herbert's definitely better than year one. He's got Saints plus 4.5.
I get it. That's one that's one I'm of course going to think about, but he's kind of betting on Tampa Bay not to bring their A game, right? I mean, does he really think the Saints are just going to go toe to toe, A game versus A game, and that's how they're going to do it? Is that what he's saying?
I think he's zeroing on the defense. They got the pressure, the interior with Brady. Last year they beat him in the regular season. I think it was twice. And then the playoffs, you got to think of that revenge game for New Orleans. You kind of killed our postseason last year. You kind of not ruined, but you ended Drew Brees' career on a bad note. That was arguably the worst Drew Brees game, like in the playoffs he ever had last year in that Tampa Bay game. Like 3-4 picks or something like that. 3 picks. Yeah.
It was pretty bad. Yeah. Okay. I get that one. But like, I did think of Colin Cowherd. I haven't listened to him in a while, but I know he loves the Patriots. Okay. What's the next game?
And this is the last one. He's got Colts minus 2.5 over the Titans.
Yeah. I like the way he's going there. But now that it's minus 2.5, though, that's not as good as when I saw earlier this week when it was Colts plus 1.5. What happened there?
Right. No, I hear that. That's true.
And the same people shouting at me every week about the Titans. Obviously, listen. Okay, let me ask you a question because I don't get to hear too much talk about the Colts or Titans. I just get people sending angry comments. Who do you think's better, Colts or Titans?
I'll say this. I think Titans got more explosiveness on offense. I'll take the Colts defense, but record-wise, based on level of competition they played, I mean, you could argue the Colts outplayed the Ravens in that game when they played them on Monday night, I think it was. Colts have been hot lately. Carson Wentz got 2 back-to-back games where he scored 30, but right now I'd say Titans just off the offense. But
I think the Titans are the better team, but just by a little.
Yeah,
I think the circumstances of this game, I think the matchup favors the Colts because Colts defense, I've been disappointed. Yeah. Because they've spent a ton of money and we haven't seen anything that entered domination land.
Right.
But here's where I think the Colts can be good. I think the front seven can at least stop the run. The Colts front seven's always disappointed me because they've never gotten that big splash pass rusher. They tried to patch with Justin Houston, I think, last year. But I just think I think the Colts are more physical. I think they have a nastier offensive line. And I'm thinking Henry's going to slow down a little bit this week. He's going over 100. He's not going like 180, 160, 140. I'm saying that right now.
Yeah. No, yeah, Colts bring definitely a physicality above the Chiefs and Bills. I think they're like the number 1 total defense. I could be wrong right now. Like statistically, they're very high, but I think that's because they played like Dolphins. I think they played the Jets. Maybe
get Davis Mills in your life with a little bit of wind coming in. Yeah, that's how you cook up the stats.
They did draft well though. They did draft. Yeah. They got some better pass rush than last year, but still, I think level of competition plays into that for sure.
Anything else you want to talk about, Tony?
Anything else I want to talk about? I heard that teaser. What's it called? You liked so I heard that one guy's like 6 or 7 team teaser, and I just starred the ones that you said you loved. You like Jags plus 10.5 in a teaser.
Love it.
I mean, yeah, you love Washington plus 10.5 in a teaser.
Love it.
You love the under in the Bucs Saints game, 60.
60, correct?
And you think Bills -7 is a little greedy.
Yeah, especially because the teaser needs to be. I think it needs to be the safest thing ever.
Yeah, to mitigate risk. No, I hear that for sure. Definitely.
It shouldn't be too greedy, but crazier things have happened in this league.
It'd be like that. No, really, it definitely
Bills
does.
coming off the bye, though, they really should just slap the high.
They should. And I think the pressure mounting with the Deshaun Watson news and Tua, it just doesn't feel like he's the guy. Yeah, I just think he's got a lot of he's gonna try to make a play happen.
And plus, the Bills are gonna hit you. That's one good thing about the Bills this year. And I asked guests who came on the show earlier this year, like, do you think the Bills defense is better? For me, I actually like this Rousseau guy they got from Miami.
Really, oh man, he didn't play last year. But he's nice. He's nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
And the Bills get so much pressure up that A gap with blitz and linebackers too. Like, I really like this Bills defense. Ed Oliver's a beast.
Yeah, I remember him in college at Houston too, and they got good linebackers, secondary solid, good coaching staff. Yeah, they're definitely they're probably like top 2 team in the AFC right now.
Yeah,
I think the Bengals are gonna keep I think Bengals are like the second, probably the first highest publicly bet this week. They should stay the course now against the Jets.
minus 10.5. I don't want to do it, but I feel like we might be getting greedy on the Bengals. Just last 2 weeks had them on Patreon. It's just at a certain point, I worry about the Bengals. But their defense, here's the thing, their defense has been playing way better than I thought. They're really good at
Trey Hendrickson balling, DJ Reader. Yeah, they got some guys. Definitely.
Yeah, so I mean that's one I'm staying away from. I just don't like it. But you're right. I probably shouldn't ignore it because Mike White is trash.
So I hear no 10.5, but I kind of get an under vibe. Like you think Bengals kind of not dominate, but like they just control the game.
Yeah, because I don't know if you were here earlier in the show, but I did give the example of Denver Broncos against the Jets on the road where they put up a 0. Okay, they're going to be at home, but there's a chance the Jets don't come to dance. The Bengals are going to come to dance. The Bengals get stronger as the game goes on. Like for me against Detroit, I had the Bengals. That was one I was pumping up that whole week. But I was a little bit concerned with what I saw of the Bengals in that first half, even though they were up 10-0. But they look like they're getting better every minute. So.
Definitely, yeah. No, Joe Burrow looks solid. I think I could be wrong. I know they're number 1 in the North, but aren't they like the number 1 overall seed in the AFC right now?
I'm not sure. Bills have 2 losses, correct?
Bills lost to Titans and Bills lost to Steelers. Yeah. And I think
so. I believe they are. And then Ravens were up there too. That game was for first place, and that game was really big. And Jamar Chase's performance, that was nasty, man.
I think he's 2-1 favorite for Rookie of the Year now. Yeah, Jamar is going to definitely take that at the rate he's playing.
Trevor Lawrence, he's not going to get the help to push. Yeah. Where's Trevor Lawrence on the futures for?
Take a look at that. I can pull it up.
Could you look at that for me, man?
Gotcha.
Yeah, let me answer the question while you're looking at that.
I'm no rush. All good.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, Rory. I only yell occasionally, Rory. Okay, let me get a question in. Will Fuller. Yeah, that's true. Will Fuller is really underrated. I've always liked him, but he's never healthy. Okay, let's. Clint, better late than never. Better late than never.
Year odds. Type in Rookie of the Year odds. NBA pulls up first.
Of course.
For real.
A lot of people. We got a lot of NBA bettors on this channel. I get surprised sometimes how much they bet on NBA.
I dabble in it, but your boy lost twice with the Lakers opening week. It was rough.
Because you don't know how much they want it, and when there's 82
I figured LeBron would like to enter the season with a win, but I guess not.
Okay, I found them. Trevor Lawrence. Okay, here it is. Jamar Chase minus 140, Mac Jones plus 400, Najee Harris plus 800 with Pittsburgh, Trevor Lawrence plus 900, Kyle Pitts plus 1,200. The only ones I would play there are Kyle Pitts and Trevor Lawrence, but I don't think they're going to rally around Trevor Lawrence. So if you had to pick two, I would go Kyle Pitts for value.
I like the Pitts one, yeah. Yeah,
At
him
least
and Matt
maybe-
Ryan are starting to hit their stride now. Yeah, they're getting that chemistry. They're looking like
no, they really are. Like I did notice that last week. That was one reason why I actually did have to go with Atlanta -3 because that chemistry between them is just, man, it's something else. So
it reminds me
that
of
was
Drew
the
and
game
Jimmy
I
Graham,
picked
to be honest.
Okay, sorry to cut you off, man.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. But yeah, I lost Panthers last week. I played the money line. I got scared from the spread, so I just figured just take the money line. But even still, just the Giants showed up. The defense and
It happened.
Sam Darnold. That was
Yeah,
funny.
no, it's Sam Darnold, and people are like, Lawson, why are you so crazy? Why were you yelling about Sam Darnold all week? That was why, because this guy is not functioning. He's not giving you a chance to win. There's a lot of guys in this league. If you give them a chance, they'll give you a chance to win. They'll fight, but Sam Darnold's not one of those guys.
They put in PJ Walker. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this week, I don't know. I think Atlanta actually can go above 500 this week. They can go 4-3.
Oh, now you're making me want to pick against them because they'll find a way not to. Like,
the defense can't get that stop. That's true.
Yeah. Maybe I'll bet the game as a draw.
Yeah, no, really, it could end in a tie. Atlanta, they've had a couple ties over the years and stuff like that. If not overtime, for sure.
Tony, thank you for coming on. I'm going to take some more questions and get off in about 15, 20 minutes.
Appreciate you, John.
Any last words? Thank you for coming on.
Follow this man on Instagram at Lawson Bets NFL.
Yeah, perfect.
Follow him, man. I'm gonna be on the Patreon soon. Yeah, just great channel, great everything. I watch the videos. I like the videos. I'm gonna leave comments, support people, and appreciate this, man. This was great talking to
you. Tony, thank you, and good job bringing up Cowherd's list. That was interesting, man.
I'm gonna be a regular, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna see me a lot here.
All right, awesome, man.
Peace.
All right, have a good one. Okay, let's get to some more questions. Let's get to feeling. Depends what games you're betting on, but yeah, I've been like I don't come on here and lie to you guys. Like I remember it was like week 3 I came on. I'm saying like I'm not feeling too good, but man, literally the last 4 weeks came on here feeling $1 million, feeling confident, feeling ready for the week, feeling hungry for the week. That's how I've been feeling. So yeah, I mean these last 4 weeks, man, we've been killing it. It's gonna be a lot of fun this week. All right, I'm gonna get one more glass of water. I'll be right back. And then we'll go a little bit past the 2-hour mark if I see questions. Leave questions down below. If I don't see any questions, I'm going to get off when I return from my water break. I got to fill up my glass. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Okay. 216 people. Appreciate you guys. You guys came out good today. Appreciate all the guests. No, man. Not like in Dallas. It just seems like Cooper Rush is going to play. But don't put that bet in right now. It just seems like Cooper Rush is going to play. Like from what Mike said, went down at the press conference today with Dak Prescott, it really feels like Cooper Rush is going to play, man. It's not good news. And Dak is even saying the medical team might hold him out. That's not good news. I feel the Giants will cover. And as for Dallas, lay off. Because the news about Dak isn't good, Dan. It isn't good. Mike came on earlier and he pretty much said what Dak said at the press conference, and it doesn't seem like a high probability of him playing. And I'm not sure why Dak would be trying to fool anyone. I mean, it's not even like a competitive advantage because the guy to come in for him is Cooper Rush. Hell, I would take Cooper Kupp above Cooper Rush. You can get him in. You can come on. This is from Andrew. Sorry if you already covered this, but how much of a downgrade is Cooper Rush? Very big downgrade. Okay, there's tiers to this game, okay? Let's get to backup quarterback tiers. I don't think, like, for instance, Tampa Bay's backup is Blaine Gabbert. I think I would take Blaine Gabbert over Cooper Rush. I think I would take Geno Smith over Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush is more like a third stringer in this league, but he's a second stringer because Dallas, it didn't go well when they invested in someone like Andy Dalton. But sometimes it's better to have someone like Cooper Rush who wants to come out and wants to play. It's better to have someone like Andy Dalton or someone like Mike Glennon. These guys have checked out years ago. They're just there for the check. You know, I think NFL players work harder than most people think. But I'm telling you, people like Mike Glennon and Andy Dalton, they're checked out. They don't want to play anymore. They don't want this lifestyle anymore. They just want to get the check and stand there without any responsibility. It's just how it is, man. A lot of these backups, they can't hold Case Keenum's jockstrap, let alone Dak Prescott's. So they get these, like, remember when Josh Rosen was getting opportunities in this league and I kept yelling he didn't deserve them and he kept getting them. Yeah, at least Cooper Rush has gotten better and he did his time on the practice squad and he worked. Okay. Yeah, no one's talked about Detroit Philly today. No one's talked about Detroit Philly. I'm surprised. I'm surprised with that. I mean, I've been liking Detroit the whole week. We talked about 49ers a lot. Chargers. Yeah, man. No, never parlays. Single bets, never parlays. Single bets. Mike Fields. Lawson, what's important about Baker? Does the team think he's better? Will they rally and get excited instead of wondering if Case will play good? That's the athlete way of thinking. They're not the batters. I think the athletes want Case Keenum. If I'm a wide receiver in this league, if I'm Odell Beckham or I'm Jarvis Landry, I go look at what Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen did with Case Keenum. And I go look at the film Baker's put on film this year. It looks more like the year with Freddie Kitchens than last year. Baker was pretty decent last year. This year he hasn't. And now he's using the injury as an excuse. He just is, man. And I think Case gives this team a better chance to win. That's what the locker room talks about. That's what the locker room's buzzing about. That's why Baker Mayfield's so fast to get back in here. Why do you think he's so fast to get back in here? He knows if Case gets this extra opportunity, it's a high likelihood that Case Keenum will seize it. And if he beats the Steelers, Kevin Stefanski's going to have to play hot hand. And that's when the locker room chatter starts. I think the chatter started this week. It's dim, it's not loud, it's not verbose right now, but it can grow. And if Baker comes in here and Mike Tomlin and TJ Watt take his lunch, then the Case Keenum calls are going to be vibrating, as they should. Edgar says, is Geno Smith Teddy Bridgewater in a Seahawks jersey? Yeah, you can trust them. I told you what we were going to get from Geno, and we've eaten because I told you Geno's not the worst, but he's pretty bad. And I told you that, but he was going to take care of the football. The defense would step up. Last 2 weeks, Seahawks have been on Patreon. The Sunday night game against the Steelers wasn't, but I did pick that one as well. But last week they were on Patreon against the Saints. The Saints have been a favorite, but sometimes you got to go with other factors other than the quarterback. But the Jags this week, I think the Jags make more plays on offense than the Seahawks. What does that mean? I don't know, because the Jags make silly mistakes. The Jags make silly mistakes on special teams. They almost blew that Dolphins game with a ridiculous mistake on special teams. You cannot trust the Jags, but if you give me +4 and you give me Trevor Lawrence against Geno Smith, and I like Trevor Lawrence's targets, but I'm not understanding one thing. Why are the Jags 32 out of 32 in receiver separation this year? Is that an Urban Meyer issue? Is that a wide receiver issue? It's troublesome. It's troublesome. But the Jags have been getting the run game going, although Seattle's been nasty against the run the last few weeks. Nasty. The Seattle offense isn't too energetic. Wade Ford, it's time to get this stuff on lockdown. Yeah, everyone's talking about UFC. I'm curious, what you guys thinking about UFC? How about my Marvin Vettori pick against Paulo Costa? I had a bet against like my favorite guy in the UFC, Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa's wild. Yeah, Calvin, I really like the Washington no-names this week, and it's hard to like the Washington no-names, especially because I've never liked Heineke. I haven't liked him since they gave him the chance to be back up for Fitz. And once Fitz went out, it's kind of Washington's year went out. But I'll tell you what, Denver can't stop the run. And this Washington still has a pretty physical run game. And I think Washington runs it well. I think the Washington defense steps up. And plus, Teddy Bridgewater is getting exposed. If Washington brings in press coverage this game, there should be no reason why they don't win. They should win this outright. Washington has to get games like this. And Riverboat Ron really should. And I've been calling Vic Fangio out for years, and no one listens because Broncos fans disappear once they start losing games every year. Vittori's crazy, man. These guys in the UFC are crazy. Yeah, Damien, I like Jags +5. If you can get it there, I like it. I haven't put in my bets yet. But Jags +5 is something I would be interested in. Yes, of course. I didn't like when I saw it at 3.5. I like it a little bit better at 4, 4.5, 5 in that range. I think that gives us a little bit more flexibility, especially with Seattle's stagnant offense. They kick a lot of field goals, so every point is important in that game. Mike, I agree with you, bro. Riverboat is getting in the way. I'll eat crow on that one. And Riverboat is responsible for this Taylor Heineke stuff too. I mean, because Riverboat was hyping him up all off season, and it's just he has to have a little bit of responsibility in it. Lawson, do the Steelers have a chance to upset the Browns? Yes, they do. Especially if Baker Mayfield plays. But, and one thing people should never forget about the Steelers, you can say a lot of things about the Steelers organization, but they always stop the run pretty good. And that's my experience as a Vikings fan. You know, I've been watching football since I was 6 years old, trying to watch all 32. I've never seen the Steelers have a terrible run defense. So I don't think the Browns are going to pound them like they did the Broncos. That's why the Browns were a money pick last week, because I knew they would pound them. And I don't know, man. Baker just hasn't been playing good this year. You guys should turn on the Arizona film. And I know everyone's saying, oh, he was injured. Dude, like I said, I wasn't buying that excuse. This feels more like 2019 Baker than 2020 Baker, if you remember that Freddie Kitchens debacle. That's just my vibe, man. Because this Browns team is stacked. Best offensive line in the league is in Cleveland. And it makes a difference. You saw what it did. And a lot of people like analyzing quarterbacks and wide receivers. Yeah, I do it too. It's important. But who analyzes the offensive line? That game was decided by the offensive line. But the Steelers front's going to come to compete as well. So Louis Jodine. Lawson, I kind of like Tampa and the Chargers on the spread. Me too, my man. I'm a little bit cautious with the Saints, but Chargers against the Patriots, it is a little bit much, but I think it's going to work down. I think the average Joe's, the guy who just created his DraftKings account 2 weeks ago, and he's got some free play. Yeah, why not splash it on the Patriots? That Bill Belichick's coaching better, right? We're gonna see that, and maybe that can help us. Dude, we've seen a lot of line movement this week. But nothing's moved in the direction I wanted it to. But we're still Friday at 6:30. I'm sure some people are getting to Vegas now, and some DraftKings accounts are getting loaded up. I don't use DraftKings, but I was just using an example. All right, guys. My mouth's really dry. I'm kind of tired right now. Cincinnati is 2 hours. Yeah, I'm getting off now. I'm tired. I've used all my energy. Hit the like button. Share the videos, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone on Patreon. Some Mr. Sorensen joined on Patreon. Riley McLaren joined on Patreon. Clayton Smith, Javier Keith joined on Patreon. Aaron Hernandez edited his pledge to $5. Thank you, man. I was just joking about that, bro. I was just joking, my man. I was just joking. Walter, thank you, Walter. Checo Martinez, Vincent Henderson, I appreciate it. Brett, Danny, Christian, I appreciate all of you guys supporting the show. Hit the like button, share the videos, the best gambling show on the internet. Guys, have a great weekend. Great weekend. Patreon bets will be up 10:30, 11 Eastern. It's going to be a little bit later tonight. They will be up. Thank you, guys. And the 4-team teaser on Patreon will be up Saturday. And thank you, Rev, for the generous donation. The $40 donation was very, very generous. Thank you for keeping the show going, man. I put in 100% effort for you guys. Let's get this money. Thank you.